A Consumer 10 alert for you tonight. Does your phone constantly ring from numbers you don't know, or have you struggled to make them stop?
We try, right?
Yeah.
Every single time. But tonight, 10 TV is getting you those answers. Reporter Kevin Landers looks into the telemarketing calls and explains how you can fight back.
Those annoying, irritating, non-stop robocalls
We are providing free information about solar panels.
are clogging phone lines across Ohio.
I said, what is it going to take for me to get you to stop this?
For Brenda McGuire,
They were just insistent.
she says the calls are unrelenting. Her phone rang so often,
Because I was so frustrated.
she created this list. It's 2 pages of telemarketing calls from the past month.
74 calls later.
She's far from alone
It's very frustrating.
in the robocall complaint department.
And that's how I feel. It's harassment.
I think it's criminal what they're doing.
Last year, Ohio ranked number 2 in the country for the most complaints about robocalls, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Those complaints were from people on the Do Not Call registry.
You can be on the do not call list, and they still continue.
Nowhere in the state do people complain more about robocalls than here. Delaware County ranks number 1 in the state for the most robocall complaints, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Last year, 6,000 people complained. To put that into perspective, that's 3,000 calls for every 100,000 people.
I probably get at least 5 a day.
John Barnett and Tammy Dutcher live in Delaware County and are on the Do Not Call list.
How many calls would you say you get a day?
Oh, I would say at least 20.
While most want telemarketer calls to stop,
Asking them to stop never worked.
22-year-old Isaac Brewster says keep them coming.
If I give them a monetary reason to stop calling, they might, because, you know, your phone's ringing off the hook all day.
Brewster fought back against unsolicited callers by turning those sales calls into cash.
Now I'm looking at having made around $35,000.
How did he do it? This is how thousands of people are making money off those calls. It's called robocalls for cash. The manual explains how to pry information from the telemarketers, like the company name and their address, information you'll need in order to send them a pre-written demand letter so you can get paid. Doc Compton, a consumer advocate, wrote the manual.
The only thing that really makes the call stop is when you take action, take their money, and teach them a lesson.
Thanks to the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, consumers have the right to demand compensation. Isaac Brewster says he took Compton's advice. Now, instead of calls, he gets checks.
Getting the mail never feels as good as when you've got a $10,000 check in there.
Making telemarketers pay, he says, has turned a constant ring into ka-ching.
Well, I took a trip to Italy. It was pretty fun. And put some into college and just saving the rest.
But the best part, he says, is silencing the robocallers that once peppered his phone. Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.